Employment falls to 1.011 million. People affected by COVID-19 is around 3.1 million Canadians for the month of March, and the unemployment rate increases to 7.8 from 5.6. That's a 36% month over month jump. Now, can the housing market weather all this change? Let's find out. Hello, everyone. This is Ragurajaguru with 401 team at Royal LePage Ignite. Today, we're going to try to break down some numbers that Statscan released for the month of March in regards to unemployment and employment. I got to first admit that this is not my area of expert, but in reading some of the things that Statscan released, it kind of gives us an opportunity to see how this is relating or will relate to the housing market, right? And again, these are numbers that were released by Statscan. These are the facts, but I will also state my opinion at the end of the day just to see what I think these numbers mean to the housing market. Now, one of the shocking numbers was that 1 million employment was lost in the month of March. That's almost a decline of 5.3%, which means that people who were aged 15 and above and who was able to participate in the labor market, there was a decline by 5.3% or 1 million, 1.011. This is the largest number ever recorded ever since Statscan started recording these numbers. It's huge. But let's dive a little bit deeper into this number later. Also, Statscan goes on to say that Canadians who were affected by either job loss or reduced hours amounted to 3.1 million. So 1.011 million people lost employment, but also altogether 3.1 million people were affected because of less hours or job losses during a reference week that Statscan is saying from March 15th to 21st. So that's a huge number. The unemployment rate increased 2.2%. Again, 2.2% increase in unemployment rate is by far the single highest increase ever recorded. It went from 5.6% in March to 7.8%. That's almost 413,000 people that have applied for unemployment rate. Now, let's go back to the 1 million. But before I go back to the 1 million, although Statscan says that this is the highest on record, Statscan expect that these are all temporary layoff, or at least most of them, and most of them should be returning to work within 6 months, and that's what they're expecting. So talking about the 1 million employment that was lost, out of the 1 million employment that was lost, about half of it, so that's about 50% of it, of the people made less than 2/3 of the median wage for 2019. The median wage for 2019 was about $24. 2/3 of that was $16. So about half the people that lost employment made about less than $16. So as you can imagine, most of this, I would assume at least, and as we can see later on, is that it was from the service or restaurant industry, accommodation industry, and they paid less than $16. Half of the jobs involved was less than $16. Also, about 40% of the employment that was lost was among youths, and Statscan describes youths as being about anyone from 16 to 24. So about 40% of the employment that was lost accounted for youths. That's about 15 to 24 of age. And we're going to break down the sectors that lost the most amount of jobs, and the leader was obviously accommodation and food services. As we know, a lot of restaurants are closed, a lot of hotels are sitting empty. I'm not sure what the vacancy rate is, but I'm pretty sure that they are affected because of what we're going through. Information and culture and recreation saw the second highest decline. So the recreation accounts for concerts, stadiums, and etc. Obviously, because of what's happening, because of COVID-19, people cannot mass gather. So therefore, a lot of people from that sector were laid off as well. That accounted for 13.3%. Educational services, 9.1%, pretty straightforward there. And wholesale and retail services saw about 7.2%. Also, another surprise was in healthcare and social assistance. If you see the title and you're a little bit confused as to, well, aren't the nurses working, the doctors are working, and etc., and all the other healthcare professionals, the decline was actually in a subsector, which is daycare services. Daycares are shut down, so obviously about 100,000 people lost jobs in that sector. So that's it. What do I think of these numbers? Again, like Statscan said, about 49.9%, or easy to say 50% of the people that lost the employment, accounted for 1 million in total, were making less than $16. And about 40% of the 1 million people, or 1 million employment that was lost, were students, or sorry, I should say youths from 15 to 24. Majority of them could have been students, but that's the kind of jobs that were taken away for the month of March. Do I personally think that these numbers are going to have an effect on the housing market overall in Canada? Sure, right? Sure, it's going to have an effect. To what extent, we don't know. But is it going to be an extreme level? Probably not, considering the fact that about 50% of them made less than $16, and also 40% of them were students. I mean, I don't have any students currently buying homes in the market that I work at, but your market can be different, but that's what the numbers are saying. So it'll be interesting to see what April brings. When April brings the numbers for Statscan, we'll take a look at it again and see what sectors lost and how many full-time jobs were lost as opposed to part-time jobs, and we'll break that down for you. If you have any questions or if you have any comments, please feel free to comment. And if you want us to do a topic or a subject that you may be interested in, let us know and we'll gladly do it. This is Ragurajaguru from 401 team at Royal LePage Ignite. If you have any question, you can call us at 416-712-2006 or text us at that number, 416-712-2006. Thank you.